Should we start, Banana?
Okay.
Let me just confirm with Noda-san, Professor Noda. Are you ready?
Give me a second.
Yes.
Right, I'm reading now.
You are muted, Noda-san.
Sorry, that jumping into last minutes. I'm Professor Noda from Tokyo. Good to see you, everyone.
Nice to meet you. Prof. Noda.
Professor Satria, thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you so much.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, Yesdi.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Usually, thank you so much for coming, joining us. Thank you so much for kind arrangement. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Selamat pagi, Pak Rektor. Sehat, Pak?
Pak Yusli, apa kabar?
Alhamdulillah.
Morning, everyone. Morning, Yesdi. Ohayo gozaimasu. Usually, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for kind arrangement.
Pak Dasa, so we should start now.
Wait a minute. Wait for the confirmations from the Professor Junichi.
Okay.
Noda-san, everyone from Shizenkan, can we start? Yes. So we can let people in and we can start, please.
Okay. Please, Bernadette. We
Okay.
can start.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning from Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen, all the distinguished participants. We are delighted to welcome you to the 69th IPB Talk on Complexity and Sustainability Sciences. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nada, and I will be hosting today's event for the next 1 hour. On behalf of the organizer, we would like to extend our warmest welcome to the distinguished Rector of IPB University, Professor Dr. Arif Satria, President and Chair of Shizenkan University, Professor Dr. Tomoyoshi Noda, Education and Cultural Attaché of Indonesian Embassy in Japan, Professor Yusli Wardianto, Vice Rector for International Affairs, Collaboration, and Alumni Relations, Professor Dodik Rido Nurrahmat, Vice President of Shizenkan University, Professor Katsuhiko Yoshikawa, Director of International Program, Professor Iskandar Siregar, Director of IECE Tokyo Office and Project Director of the Future of Capitalism, Professor Junichi Kagaya, Dean of the School of Business, IPB University, Professor Nur Azam Ahsani, Lecturer from School of Business, IPB University, Dr. Diki Indrawan, and last but definitely not least, all dear participants and audiences. Ladies and gentlemen, to officially start our event this morning, we are pleased to invite the Rector of IPB University to deliver his speech and remarks. Please welcome Professor Dr. Arif Satria. The time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Konnichiwa. To begin, I'd like to extend a hearty welcome to the esteemed Professor Dr. Tomoyoshi Noda, President and Chair of Shizenkan University, Japan, Professor Katsuhito Yoshikawa, Vice President of Shizenkan University, Professor Junichi Kagaya, Director of IEC Tokyo Office, and Prof. Yusli Wardianto, Education and Cultural Attaché, Indonesian Embassy in Japan, and all distinguished colleagues from Shizenkan University in Japan, and warm greeting from Indonesia. As a representative of IPB University, I'd like to introduce Professor Dodik Ridho Nurrahmat as Vice Rector for International Affairs, Collaboration, and Alumni Relations, and Professor Iskandar Siregar as the Director of International Program. From Nur Azam Ahsani is the Dean of Business School, and Bu Nimi, Dr. Nimi is Vice Dean of Business School. And I want to express my gratitude to the President, Professor Noda, for participating in this MOU signing between IPB and Sejengkan University to initiate a new collaboration. Both institutions, I believe, have enormous potential for collaboration. And even though we cannot meet physically due to the pandemic, it is a pleasure to have this online MOU ceremony. I wish us continued good health. Ladies and gentlemen, IPB University is among the universities that have been actively conducting remarkable scientific research in agriculture and bioscience, and to expand our local, regional, and global impacts. IPB University is actively developing collaboration between remarkable universities such as the Sejengkan University. The previous discussion between our international office has given us many insights on how strategic it is to collaborate between IPB and Sejengkan University. Some examples: to conduct faculty exchange programs, researchers or scholars visit, collaborative research project, joint lectures, conference and seminars. In addition, we hope to co-develop a common agenda to explore new role and responsibility of business enterprise and leaders in pursuit of more sustainable, equitable, and inclusive society. I anticipate engaging in numerous additional activities in the future due to this initiative, and I look forward to more positive transformation of higher education in terms of learning, research, innovation, and community service. Again, on behalf of IPB University, I sincerely hope for an engaging signing ceremony, and thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much for the speech, Professor Arif. Next, we would like to invite the President of Sejengkan University, Professor Tomoyoshi Noda, to deliver his speech. Please welcome Professor Tomoyoshi Noda. The time is yours.
Sorry, we have some technical problem.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you so much for your kind introduction. I feel honored and delighted to have IPB University as one of our allied partners. I really appreciate this opportunity, and we are so excited to joining the collaborative endeavor from now on. The beginning, let me introduce briefly who we are, because many of you may not know who is Sejengkan University. And I just want to explain to you briefly what we aspired to achieve in collaboration with IPB University. So let me use some of the slides. So we are a school for ultimate goodness. So this name represents our vision and aspiration and probably purpose. I have been teaching outside of Japan, particularly in Europe, in London Business School and INSEAD in Fontainebleau, France. But I always believe that fundamental purpose of higher educational institution is making the society and the future better. And this is the only purpose of Sejengkan, and helping humankind and our society, international community, making progress toward a better world. So that's who we are. Second, this is the first time we do together with IPB, and we just wanted to introduce where we are coming from. So here is Japan, and I hope some of you have been here in Tokyo. We are in Tokyo. And quickly, I just wanted to show you where we are. So we are 5 minutes walking distance from central Tokyo Station. Here is a Tokyo Station. We will have an opening ceremony of Paralympic today. And here we are located. We are located in the city, in the middle of the city. Busy streets. So that is where we are. So let me explain. We are, unlike IPB University, we are new school, new university, very new. only established 2018, 3 years ago. But we have been operating more than 20 years, particularly focusing on executive education. And we have many senior executive graduates who assume the CEO position of big Japanese corporations, such as Japan Airlines, Fujitsu, Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, Mitsui and Company, Shiseido, and Kokuyo, you name few. And we are also very, very excited to help social entrepreneurs. And we have, like Ara Ashoka in America, we have 60 fellows. We are small. We are very small. We have only 240 students, participants on campus. But we are collaborating very, very closely with 100 multinational corporations, and we are so fortunate to be supported by like-minded individuals, over 1,000 social leaders and business executives in the world. And we are also global and local. Our students come from 30 countries and regions, very international. And we also are connected and collaborating with the business schools or educational institutions in Spain, India, Brazil, Denmark, and others. But in the meantime, we are nested in local community called Nihonbashi, Old Tokyo. So coming back to why we are here together with IPB University, because our vision, we believe that we share our vision together. We are living at the critical time of change in human history. Everybody is worrying about the future of younger generation. Are we really sustainable? Are we really inclusive? Are we moving toward a happier society, happier future? That is the time we are living today. And our only purpose is making the society and future better through renewing global paradigm of leadership education. That is who we are. And that is what we believe that our world needs today. So we have 3 challenges. We hope we want to do together with you and Indonesia and IPB University friends and faculty members. We are trying to integrate business and society one more time. I was educated at MIT and Harvard, but at that time, shareholder maximization mantra prevailed in the world. Now time has changed. People looking for much more a purpose of business enterprise in the society for sustainable, inclusive, more equitable world. How we can reblend business and society one more time. Second, we are living in the era of exponential disruptive technology. Shizenkai University, we focus on AI programming, digital transformation, sustainable transformation, and digital innovation too. But innovation for whom? For what purpose? We strongly believe that innovation is for the sake of enhancing humanity, for the sake of humanity. And we need to reposition what is objective, what is means to achieve objective. Always humanity is objective. Innovation is only means. So we tried to leverage the capability of entrepreneurs and innovators for the sake of enhancing humanity in the world. Third and final, lastly, over the past 250 years, our thinking has been dominated by Western rationality. That is a concept of Western modern. But pendulum swung back one more time, coming from Europe, America, now to Asia. Japan was first, South Korea was second, China finally, India coming, and you, Indonesia, coming to the center of the world. And we Asians have slightly different perspective, mindset, way of seeing into the world, nature, and human relationship. So our challenge here is we are living in the middle of 21st century. How we can integrate, or how we can make use of Western rationality and Asian spirituality for, once again, equitable, inclusive, and sustainable society and world. So these are the three challenges: business and society, innovation and humanity, and West and Asia. That is the challenge. Sometimes people say that is two sides of the coins, and sometimes they contradict with each other. But we truly believe that is these two, business, society, innovation, humanity, and West and Asia, is yin and yang in Chinese belief. Always we need together, both sides together, two sides of the same coin. That we are trying to do. So once again, better society, better future through whole person management, leadership education. That is our raison d'etre. That is our enthusiasm, passion, and determination. And making a small change, which make a huge impact to the society and the future, together with all the friends across the world. And I hope that this is one of the great beginning of our collaboration. Thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the speech and the brief introduction, Professor Noda. Ladies and gentlemen, now that the rector and the president of our two universities have delivered their amazing speech and remarks, we will be moving on to the main agenda of today's event, which is the virtual signing of MOU between IPB and Sijinkan University. So Professor Arif and Professor Noda could please sign the MOU. And then I would like to invite Professor Arif and Professor Noda to hold the signed MOU in front of the camera so that our operator can take the picture. We'll wait for Professor Noda. Okay, on my mark. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Arif and Professor Noda. Before we move to the next session, I would like to invite all of the participants to turn on the camera so we could also take the pictures together. Everybody ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. The next slide. One, 2, 3. Is there any other slide? Okay, the next slide. We ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's all. Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to invite the Attaché of Indonesian Education in Japan, Professor Yusli Wardianto, to deliver his marks. Professor Yusli, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Professor Arif Satria, Rector of IPB University, Noda Sensei, President of Sijinkan University, all distinguished guests. Good morning, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's an honor for me to witness this MOU signing events today. And Indonesian Embassy is really hope that this MOU will be used also for point for other Indonesian university to involve, I hope, Pak Arif and Noda Sensei to involve in the activities in the future. And I also hope that this MOU can be used to explore many sources of financial source to support this MOU, such as Sakura exchange program funded by GST, Japan Science and Technology. And also, as our ambassador always says, that we can encourage LPDP to finance for the such collaboration in the degree program, Pak Arif and Professor Noda, in the future. Again, I will say congratulations for this MOU signing ceremony. Hopefully, this will be a good start for IPB University and Sizenkang to have more collaboration in the future. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Yusli, for the remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to the presentation session. So I would like to remind all of the participants that following the presentation, we will be having a discussion. Participants could leave their questions in the chat box, or if you please, you could raise your hand and our operator will unmute you so you could ask the question yourself. We are going to start with the presentation from Sizenkang University. We would like to invite Professor Katsuhiko Yoshikawa to present the introduction of Sizenkang University. Professor, the time is yours.
Yes, thank you very much for your introduction. Nice to meet you, all of you, also virtually. My name is Katsuhiko Yoshikawa, Vice President at Sizenkang, in charge of the curriculum development at Sizenkang. So let me briefly introduce what kind of education we are aiming to develop at Sizenkang, following up what Noda-san has already mentioned. So we are aiming to establish a business school for the 22nd century. It may sound odd, a bit odd, to say 22nd century at the beginning of 21st century, but we believe that we need a new type of leadership education for the entire humankind. We are living at a time of significant societal changes, including environmental challenges as well as technological challenges. And we aim to establish new generation of leaders who can envision the future and lead change and innovation for the betterment of the entire society and the world. And to achieve the goal, we are aiming to innovate leadership education, building upon and overcoming the limitations of the traditional MBA education at business schools. And we believe that the business school education is facing the famous Innovators Dilemma. Many of you may be familiar with this concept. This is one of the most significant concepts developed in 22nd century business schools. This is developed by Professor Clayton Christensen at Harvard Business School. In a nutshell, the idea is that the big corporations tend to face challenges of innovating itself and sometimes face significant challenges of changing environment when the change is very rapid and disruptive. And we suspect that, ironically, although the concept itself, Innovators Dilemma, has come from business school, we suspect that it may be us business schools who will be suffering most from the idea of Innovators Dilemma. As I mentioned, the world is rapidly changing, and we really have a sense of urgency that we need to change the way how we develop leaders for the betterment of the society. Why I'm telling that? Because we believe that Western business school approach in traditional business schools are an epitome of 20th century capitalism that is currently facing a lot of challenges. Let me briefly elaborate what are the characteristics and the basic assumptions at traditional business schools. The first one is traditional business school education assumes ever-increasing growth. All corporations need to pursue ever-increased growth based on mass production and mass consumption. And we know this is already challenged by the limitations and boundaries of the planet. And the traditional concepts of business schools are based on the idea of bureaucracy and centralization of decision making. So the leaders at the top helm of corporations, corporate hierarchy, making decisions and putting people, employees into the rigid silos of corporate structure. So making people into parts of machine. Of course, it's a rational idea to put people into a bureaucratic structure, but that limits the creativity and capacity of individuals working in that silos and machines. And as a result of organization silos, we have a deep division of labor in organizations as well as in society, and we have command and control system that limit our ability to freely make decisions, being creative and being proactive. And the last point I would make here is that the traditional business school education has a kind of appreciated the idea of global standard, but there is a serious question about what is that global standard. Is it global standard or American standard? And as Professor Noda has mentioned, the pendulum is swinging back to Asia, and we know that there are different ways of thinking, different ways of doing business, and how can we deal with the idea of global standard, which is heavily doctrinated by American ways of looking at business and management. So these are the key characteristics and assumptions of leadership education in traditional sense. However, we are facing with changes in these basic assumptions at leadership education. For example, there is increasing concerns of sustainability, and the idea of consumers are changing. Increasingly, people are engaging with production sites as well as consuming products and services. And the mass production idea is transforming thanks to the new technologies such as 3D printing. So local production for local consumption is emerging in many parts of the world. At the same time, compared to the hierarchical vertical structure of traditional organization, there is increasing influence of lateral networks of independent individuals. So powers are shifting from corporate structure to individuals who envision unseen future and initiate changes by themselves. And in such network-based structure, collaboration based on sympathy and trust is more important compared to traditional idea of command and control. And as we all know, innovation matters a lot to solve our big challenges that humankind is facing today. And entrepreneurs and leaders with holistic perspective, looking at societal challenges and tackling them with their business muscle as well as passion to solve the problems, these are making changes. So we need to develop leaders with passion and let them make changes. That is the fundamental mission of leadership education for the 21st and 22nd century. And as repeated, pendulum is swinging back to Asia, and therefore we need to think again about differences of thoughts about business and management coming from different cultural and philosophical traditions. And we need to make use of different ways of looking at business from different parts of the world. So now, coming back to Shizenkan, we aim to develop leaders who can lead change and innovation for the 22nd century and for the 21st and 22nd century for the betterment of humanity. And this is the concept that we developed to lead the design of education at Shizenkan University. We call it a whole person management leadership. We want to develop leaders who have strong willpower at the heart of their endeavor. And we want students to develop abilities to be grounded in society and as an established decision maker. And we want students to develop abilities to envision something unseen. Because leaders, next generation leaders, need to make new changes and initiatives by themselves, and therefore they need abilities to see the future that is different from today. And of course, we need leaders to have abilities to realize that vision, involving people, mobilizing resources, and particularly gaining support and trust from people around them. So that is the kind of leaders that we want to develop at Shizenkan. And in order to achieve this aim, we have 3 uniqueness in our program. The first one is combining analysis and envisioning. Traditional business school education is very good at analyzing existing structure, markets, financials, and the business structure. But we want next generation leaders to have an ability to envision and design something that doesn't exist yet. So we incorporate a design school approach in our business school education. So that's the first uniqueness of Shizenkan education. Secondly, how and why. How to make more profit, how to enhance our market share. These are, of course, important questions, but more importantly, next generation leaders need to think about why. Why are they doing this particular business? Why do they want to change the way they do business? And this type of why question is related to the concept of purpose. And in order to have a clear answer to why questions, leaders need to have deep understanding about humanity and society. Because at the end of the day, corporations and businesses exist for the betterment of society. And in order to set a clear purpose for any business, they need to think about implications and relationships with the society of the business. So in order to achieve this goal, we incorporate liberal arts education into our business school program. So that is the second uniqueness. And the third one is combination of confrontation with others and self-reflection. Leaders need to be aware of themselves. Self-awareness is always the center of leadership. And in order to nurture deep awareness, we want students to interact with each other and seriously facing with differences between them in values, in the way they think and their worldviews, to really think deeply about themselves and develop deep awareness about themselves. So that is the third pillar of our business school education. So in many senses, these are very different from traditional leadership education that is developed in 20th century business schools. And we are still in the process of making it, and we are in the journey. And we sincerely hope that our collaboration between IPB and Shizenkan will lead to the kind of further development of our leadership education for the betterment of humankind for the 22nd century. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Yoshikawa, for the very informative presentation about the study in Shizenkan University. Ladies and gentlemen, the next presentation will be the introduction to the Future of Capitalism project. We would like to invite the project director of the Future of Capitalism, Professor Junichi Kagaya. Professor, the time is yours.
Well, thank you very much. I'm also honored to be here. Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Junichi, a project director of the Future of Capitalism. As I was introduced in the very beginning, I'm managing director of IESE Business School, headquartered in Spain, but I myself is based in Tokyo. I'm also a member of the board of trustees at Shizenkan University. So I'm acting as a liaison person between the two institutions. That is why of my role in this project. Many keywords have already appeared in the speech of Professor Tomonoda and also Katsuhiko Yoshikawa, but please bear with me to repeat some of those keywords to introduce this project. Future of Capitalism is an online course for MBA students initiated this year, 2021, by two institutions, Shizenkan and IESE. And I will be sharing a little bit about the background and our awareness of issues behind this project. This project is a kind of, Professor Tomonoda showed in his presentation, a water drop making repercussion in the water phase. So this project is a kind of repercussion of the spirit delivered by the spirit of the Shizenka University. So, as mentioned before, we all know that we as humankind are at an inflection point of the history. We are facing issues and challenges in sustainability, inclusiveness and equitability of our society, communities, relationship between business and society, our families, etc. We saw entities like Business Roundtable in the US, or the largest asset management fund, BlackRock, or World Economic Forum are addressing this issue of stakeholder capitalism, or how we can make our capitalistic systems be more sustainable, inclusive, and equitable. Also, legal systems, legal frameworks like B Corporation in the UK, and also Entrepreneurs Mission in France are trying to promote this idea of socially oriented or purpose-driven businesses in the world. So the question we asked last year when we started this initiative or project is, what about business schools? How can we as business schools contribute to that making of the better future? And we believe, as Professor Tomonoda mentioned, our ultimate mission is to make our future society a better place than today. And that is done by developing next generation leaders who can make that happen. And that's where this project, Future of Capitalism, was born. This MBA course addresses, therefore, key issues that our society today faces within the capitalist system, and asks students from different schools, different parts of the world, how to make that system of our functioning of society more sustainable, inclusive, and equitable. To do so, in the sessions of the course, students visit virtually remote places in the world to have a dialogue with very diverse people, from business leaders, political leaders, NGO leaders, and people also affected by the system. So this, as an example, this is the curriculum of 13 sessions that we conducted this year from January to April. I will not go through all of these sessions, but you can see that we touched upon the role of media, then financial inequality with street children in Bangladesh, also international conflict and the relationship with capitalism with former child soldiers in Uganda, ethics in capital markets, environmental sustainability, role of government, the bright side and dark side of technological innovations, and contribution of Eastern philosophies, role of business leaders in realizing of sustainability. All these topics are discussed. And also we had an optional session to discuss about moral compass of business leaders with the former dean of Harvard Business School. This curriculum may change in the next edition because we want to improve continuously. That's our spirit. But you can see how diverse and how dynamic our sessions are in this course. So this is just an example of how our sessions are conducted. This is a positive side of our sort of pandemic that we all suffered globally. We can now connect to different people from a very diverse background and conduct this kind of session, including today's event. This is how the final session looked like. So this course, this project is supported by several business leaders, including Paul Polman, on the top left, former CEO of Unilever. Top center is the former dean of Harvard Business School, Nitin Noria. And top right is Mr. John Elkington, advocate of triple bottom line philosophy. That bottom left is a dean of IESE Business School, Professor Hoykamp, and bottom center is B. Muthuraman, a former executive of Tata International, and bottom right is Mr. James Higa, former executive of Apple, who worked with Steve Jobs for decades. So this is a brief introduction to this project, Future of Capitalism. We started this year, this course, with 4 schools: IESE from Spain, Shizenkan from Japan, School of Inspired Leadership from India, and FGB from Brazil. You can see all 4 logos. And for the next edition, 2022, we start from January next year. We have invited, together with IPB University, schools like IMD from Switzerland, Copenhagen Business School from Copenhagen, Denmark, and Seoul National University from South Korea. We may add more schools to this edition, and we very much look forward to welcoming faculty members and students from IPB University in the next edition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Kagaya, for the very informative presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the next presentation will be an introduction of IPB University. We would like to invite the Dean of School of Business, Professor Nur Azam Ahsani. Professor, the time is yours.
Yeah. Hello, thank you, Ms. Nada. The ceremony, could you hear me?
Yeah, we could,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
could hear you clear.
Okay, let me share the presentation. Do you see my presentation?
Yeah, we can see it. Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Okay. First of all, it is very honor for me to have such collaboration with the Shizenkan University. Thank you, Professor Arif Satria. Thank you, Professor President Noda, Professor Kakaya, and all the member of Shizenkan University and IPB University. Also for Professor Yusli to make this event happen. It is very honor for me and also School of Business IPB University to have the collaboration internationally, globally, with many School of Business all around the world. I'm Raza Mahsani, the Dean of School of Business IPB University. Let me introduce small about IPB University and also our School of Business. What is our mission and what is the same thing from our business school and the mission of Shizenkan University. I think many things we can do together. We have a same mission, we have the same vision, and I think we can learn each other, and also our business school can contribute to give something to the global network. This is a small introduction of our university. IPB University was founded in 1927 and during the Dutch colony. At the time, the name was Middelbare Buitenschap. And then in 1940, the Dutch government founded an institution of higher education. The name was Landbouw Hogeschool. Under Dutch colony, and then under Indonesian government in 1973, IPB was founded, and the 1st September consists of five faculty, that is veterinary medicine, agriculture, fisheries, animal science, and forestry. And time by time, IPB University was developed. And now under our rector, Professor Satria, is our vision and mission. Starting from excellent innovation ecosystem in 2019 and excellent innovation in 2020 now, and toward local global interconnectivity in 2023. So our collaboration now with Global Network will be supported totally by our rector, and also supported our mission to be local global interconnectivity. It is very good, I think. And now we have about 30 students, and about 1,000 among them international students. And here's our profile. We are now consist of many faculty, and based on the QS World University ranking, we are ranked about number 511 to 520 in World University ranking. And in the agriculture and forestry subject, we are top 100 university in the world. And based on the TH Impact ranking, we are top 100 to 200 rank, and in Indonesian, we are best university in Indonesia based on the Ministry of Education and Culture in 2020. Now we consist of agriculture faculty, this old faculty, veterinary medicine, fishery and marine science, animal science, forestry, agricultural technology, mathematical and natural sciences, economic and management, and human ecology. Otherwise, we have 3 schools, business school, our business school, and then graduate school and college of vocational studies. We are international accredited, many accreditation in our university, and our business school is also internationally accredited by APS 21, the Alliance on Business Education and Scholarship for Tomorrow, 21st Century Technology, based in Tokyo. So it is very good for us. We are very happy to have international collaboration with Global Business School conducted by Shizenkan University. And now we are in IPB, have 24 research centers, and 6 among them is the so-called National Center of Excellency. So we are the university with the most national center of excellence in Indonesia until now. And we also have international research consortia with many consortia around the world. I think last year 18 international research consortia. This is the consortia with IPB including that. And also in this new consortia, in May 2029, 5 new consortia. So our research, our education consortia, I think will the new consortia for us, so that it will make our university more and more globalized in the future. And now I come to the School of Business IPB University. What is our mission, our vision, and what is the same thing with the Shizenkan vision and mission? Our business school at the beginning is also offered only an MBA program. The Indonesian government asked that our university offered the so-called MBA in agriculture, because we are at the time agriculture-based university in 1991. Based on the very good result, we are the best MBA in Indonesia for a long time. In 2005, the government asked our university to offer the PhD program or doctoral program. And this is the most important for us, that our doctoral program was opened by the President of Indonesia at the time, President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. And many top rank government leaders in Indonesia and many top-ranked business leaders in Indonesia graduated from our MBA and our PhD program. Some minister in Indonesian government also graduated from our university. Even and the son of our President Bambang Yudhoyono, and also the son-in-law of our President Jokowi graduated from our university. So many people said that our business school is the business school of the president family, something like that. And starting in 2015, the government again asked our university to open the undergraduate program. So we are now the full-fledged program offering bachelor, master, and PhD in our university. So the collaboration with Sisenkan University and the Global Network will for sure increase our reputation and our quality in the future. What is our mission? This is very similar with the idea of what Sisenkan University offered. Our vision is a school that excels in developing science and responsible business leader. What is responsible business leader? Responsible business leader in resource and bioscience-based industry, because our university is still a resource-based university, agricultural university, through academically rigorous education, research and community services with entrepreneurship in spirit, sustainability and focus, and global in orientation. So I think our mission in entrepreneurship and sustainability and in global orientation is very good and very in line with the vision and mission of Sisenkan University. And our curriculum is focused on the relation between state, business, and society. Society is one of the three pillars of the most important thing in our business idea. And this is also, I think, very good and very in line with the Sisenkan idea, what Professor Noda and all presentation from the Sisenkan University. So what we offer for the student is not only entrepreneurial thinking and acting, but also critical thinking, problem solving, leadership and teamwork, business communication, and not the only is the sustainable business practices. Sustainable is always in my curriculum. In every lecture, in every courses, sustainable business is always the important thing. On the bachelor, we want to have the responsible business practitioners for our bachelor alumni, and then responsible business executive for the MBA alumni, and also responsible business leaders and scientists for the alumni of our PhD program. So I think this is very nice and very good and very in line with Sisenkan University to make our student engage with the society. We develop the so-called creative hub ecosystem. In this institution, or in this sense, the student will engage with the community using the so-called learning wallet. The student will also engage with the industry and collaboration using hybrid corp, and also the enrichment for the student using a learning lab. So I think it is in this creative hub also we offer the co-working space, and then socio-entrepreneur, just same with the Sisenkan offer, and also retail organization, and also virtual office to have engagement with the society, with the business practitioner, and also in this virtual office, especially for the small and medium enterprise. So we totally agree with the Sisenkan University that the world in the future should be equal, should be unity for all the people, for all the stakeholders. And this is our international collaboration research project with many universities in the world. And in the next presentation, we will put here our collaboration with the Sisenkan University. Also, this is the collaboration with the society, education and training program with many national company, international company in Indonesia. Also, business consultancy and joint research, sponsorship, scholarship, leadership program, and lecture. Also, just the same with what Sisenkan University offer all around the world. And this is just a small picture of us, this executive diploma program. Also national and international study tour. Also, this is our student international engagement to all over the world. This is to Thailand, to Japan, to South Korea, to the UK, to the Japan also here, Prince of Wales University in Thailand, Connecticut, USA, the Philippines, and so on and so on. And last but not least, to German university. I think this precedent for us. And again, thank you very much. We are very happy. We are very lucky to have collaboration with the Sizenkan University and all global network business school. Again, thank to Professor Noda as president from Sizenkan University, Professor Arif Satya of IPB University, and all the team to make our dream happen. And as Professor Noda said that in the lecture, Professor Noda asked me to offer or IB offer the Islamic thought or Islamic business practices. So we are very happy, we are ready, and I have contact the central bankers and also the staff of the lecturer in our university. We can offer the philosophy of Islamic business and then the banking and financial practices, and also socio-entrepreneur and Islamic perspective. So I think this topic will be very good to enrich what the Sizenkan University done in the last semester. So in the next semester, the curriculum will be more diversified and more developed in the future. Okay, I think so. Thank you very much again, Professor Arif Satya, Professor Noda, and all the team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the informative presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the discussion session. So if you have any question, you can raise your hand and our operator will unmute you so you could ask the question yourself. So let me check first.
Nada-san, we have a proposal because we have one graduate, Indonesian graduate, joining us today, who stays in Tokyo. His name is Satria, and he may be able to fill the gap between Indonesia and Japan. So if you don't mind, we want to invite Satria to speak on behalf of Indonesia and Japan, Shizenkan and Indonesia.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Nada Sensei. Thank you, Mbak Nada. And good afternoon, all the professors and the audiences. I'm extremely happy to be part of this precious event. So luckily, my name is also Satria. So I wish I could be, I could be like Professor Arif Satria someday. I am an Indonesian alumni, just graduated from Sizenkan University. So probably I could share a bit my story and time during in Sizenkan. So I heard about Sizenkan first time from the Indonesian education attaché at the time. It was Mrs. Alinda, which also I believe came from the IPB. At first, in my mind, Sizenkan's program is just common MBA, like typically professional or business management school. Then I remember I did small research, and I interested in the philosophy of the Sizenkan actually. In some article, I read that Sizenkan always questioned the value of existing business schools in the world and try to create an alternative leadership education model. So I thought this would be non-conventional business school, and I would get many new extraordinary inputs and insight. And when I applied and joined, indeed, it's very unique. Yes, of course, we learn business management skill, but we also learn many liberal art subjects, such as Western and Eastern philosophy, sociology, capitalism, performing, theatrical, and even we learn about religion. So it was very unforgettable experiences for me. And the lecture and the professor are very exceptional. And yeah, they are expert and great in their subject, and the student came from diverse countries and big companies. And I like the diversity environment that Sijenkang made. I can get more value, I can get more perspective from my friends that has different background and culture and belief. But what I really actually like the most is that we explore deeply our own answer to many fundamental questions and problems, and keep asking ourselves to develop our own theories in many things. So yeah, we understood what is the classic theories, but at the same time we keep on asking to innovate or develop our own theory. I think that that concept of learning very impactful for my self development. So yeah, and apart from the class activities, Sizenkang also held many optional seminar and forums with very great speaker and famous speaker. Yeah, I feel very grateful to have those life-changing experiences. Thank you, Sizenkang.
Satria, any suggestion, advice you can give to us, IPB and Shizenkan, what kind of things we can do together?
Yeah, so as Indonesian, I know IPB as state-owned agriculture university, which is already familiar to all Indonesian people. I believe all students and people in Indonesia know about IPB. Many leaders in Indonesia came from IPB. In my opinion, IPB is one of the most university which very concerned in addressing national and society problem in Indonesia. It has been inspiring many innovation, especially in agriculture, oceans, and biosciences. And these keywords of society, sustainability, and innovation definitely similar and yeah, compatible with Sizenkang's spirit and passion. So I hope this MOU and collaboration really great arrangement. I believe this could bring valuable insight or even solution to the society. And probably by doing like various networking activities in my mind, such as join class or program, make a conference project together, or at least collaborate in a seminar and forums, can be great idea, I think.
Thank you very much, Satria, for the input and information. Maybe Professor Nur Azam Ahsani have some inputs or suggestion?
Yeah, thank you, Mbak Nada. Thank you, Pak Satria, as an Indonesian, but also the Zizenkan alumni. It is very nice to meet you here, even in Zoom. Hopefully, we can communicate each other more engaged in the next time, so that you can bridge what we have and what Zizenkan have, and then our collaboration will be in the future better and better, I think. And as you said before, that society is always the focus of our university and our business school. And what we learn together with APES 21 Peace in Tokyo, also Professor Ito also said that just follow your uniqueness, just develop your culture and so on, and then make your culture to global, bring into the global market, and then not just follow the Western value. So I think what we learn from Professor Ito and what we develop in our business school will be very good and will pass very good with the idea from Zizenkan University. So we are very happy to make collaboration. As Pak Satria said, for example, join lecture, join seminar, and so on, exchange lecture, exchange student, and so on. It is very nice for us, and we are very happy to do this, so that we can develop together. We can learn each other. And as a small introduction, we have in our business school also the lecturer from all over the world. We have, I think, 3 alumni from Japan, from the US, from the UK, from Germany, from the French, from Australia, New Zealand, from Malaysia, and so on. So with this diversified lecture, diversified professor, we also offer the good thing from all over the world. but we will never forget our Indonesian, our Eastern value and so on. So that Eastern value will groove together with the Western vision of School of Business. I think so, Mbak Nada. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the response. Maybe from Sizenka University, have any other things to discuss or question before we move on to the participants? If not, maybe we can move on to the questions from the participants. So if the participants have any questions, you could raise your hand and we can unmute you. Let me check first. I don't think there's anyone raising their hands. So, but actually there's the question left in the YouTube live stream. So maybe I could read out the questions. So there's a question for Sizenka University from Puput, a master's student at IPB University. So Ms. Puput said, I would like to ask, is there any exchange program between IPB University and Sizenka University right now? And how about the requirements if we want to join the program?
Yes, thank you for the great question. We haven't established exchange student program, but we can discuss between IPB members and Shizenkan faculty members how we can organize such things. We believe that exchange of students will broaden our students' learning experience in both sides. So let's explore together for future opportunities. I have one course in mind, which is Global Strategy and Management, which is a course that I organize with other faculty member. So I will contact with IPB members to explore, to see if we can make it this year. Yeah, let's have a discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Yoshikawa, for the answer. It would be very interesting if we have any future exchange or any program between the two universities. Okay, so is there anyone want to ask a questions? You could raise your hand or simply left the question in the chat box. If there's none left, maybe we could end the discussion because I don't think we have any time left. So ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of today's event. We would like to thank Sizenka University for attending the MOU ceremony today, as well as presenting us with valuable information about the study in Sizenka University. We would also like to thank every participants that are attending today. We hope that everyone could gain beneficial information from this event. I, Nadarif Putri, as today's Master of Ceremony, and on behalf of the organizer of the 69 IPBTalk, beg your pardon for the mistakes we have made. Once again, thank you. Have a delightful day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Nada.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Perhaps before leaving, I would like to share also the informations about the where is this one? Summer course. There are summer course on Islamic. I will share the informations on the this one. Because the business summer course, one more labs. There are the School of Business has 2 summer course this year, but there are additionals on a winter summer course. Here I put on the chat Islamic Economic Winter Course 2021. The title is Digitalizations, Social Finance for Sustainable and Social Impact. Perhaps there will be also very interesting for the Sizenka students to join our Islamic winter course. So I put the informations on the link, and it would be very happy to welcome the students or the graduate students from Sizenka University to join, because the MOU has already signed between both IPB and also Sizenka University. So that's additional information. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Dasa.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. It's a good start.
Thank you.
Oke, thank you,
Bye.
Profesor Noda, Profesor
Terima kasih Pak Nur,
Bye, bye, makasih Pak
Prof.
Yusri,
Yusri.
thank you,
Bye.
Mas Diki,
Pak Iskandar, terima
Prof.
kasih.
Pak
Pak
Iskandar,
Dekan, thank you ya Pak Dekan.
thank you semuanya.
Minasan, arigato gozaimashita.
Thank you, Profesor Nur Azam.
Thank you,
Makasih Pak
thank you,
Diki.
Pak semua. Ya, thank you.
Pak Diki, atur nuhun.
Thank you very much,
Prof.
everyone.
Yusri.